And this week, someone that most of you are familiar with, we are honored to have Reverend Tony Cryer. And I want to point out he's going to be singing 2 songs, which are wonderful, and he's composed them both. So please give a warm welcome to Reverend Tony Cryer.
It's great to be here this morning with you guys. The first song's actually from Kate Bush. I changed my mind. But I've changed it around a little to fit the unity message. Kind friends all gathered round, something I would say. What brings us all together here has blessed us all this day. You know, love has made a circle, holds us all inside, where strangers are like family and loneliness can't hide. If you give yourself to love, you know love is what you're after. Open up your heart to the joy and the laughter, and give yourself to love. Come on, give yourself to love. You know, love is born in fire, and it's planted like a seed. Yes, love will give you everything. It gives you what you need. Love comes when you're ready, and it comes when you're afraid. It'll be your greatest teacher, the best friend you have made. If you give yourself to love, come on, give yourself to love. I've walked these shorelines in the rain, and I've learned to love the wind. I've been up before the sunrise to watch this day begin. I always knew I'd find you, though I never did know how. Like sunshine on a cloudy day, you stand before me now, and you give yourself to love. Yes, you give yourself to love. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so very, very much. I'm so thrilled, so honored, and so grateful to be here this morning. It's kind of a full circle adventure for me, growing up on Cape Cod and traveling around the world, being out there for over 24 years since my initial awakening in Christ consciousness, and ending up right back here again. And some of you guys know me from way back then. I have some old friends here.
Nothing's ever changed.
Yeah, I'm still hogging the stage. We used to be in the theater together. The very old dear friends of mine, Alan, Maria Moniz. Some of you may know them. And my brother, who's known me since I was born, came all the way from California. Not to hear me speak. It's my mom's 85th birthday. But I truly believe, from the bottom of my heart, the greatest, most noble quest in this life is the quest for truth. The truth of life, the truth of who we really are. Get rid of that one. And I need a prop now. Wow. I know for a fact that in order to realize this truth, we must be loving. We must have love. But more than that, we must give ourselves to love. It's a process that we give ourselves to. I really have experienced so much in this life, but it's so much more than giving and receiving of something. It's being love. It becomes who you are, rather than a commodity or something that you're longing for, something that you remember and you once had. It's something that you are. It's something that takes over the very cells of your body and the core of your being. You know, in 1 John chapter 4, it's the whole Bible's right there. That's all you ever need. God is love. That's it. If we love one another, then God dwells in us and we dwell in God. All the powers of the universe are given to us. If we love one another and God dwells in us, then his love is perfected in us. And it goes on to say, which is very interesting, that we may have boldness in the days of our judgment. When we're judging ourselves and each other, we can stop. We can go back to the fact that God is in us. And he says in John 4, 1 John, in the letters of the Bible, he says that as he is, so are we in this world. I love that. As he is, so are we in this world. So you may be the only demonstration of God that this world will ever see. You may be the only Bible anyone will ever read. You may be the only church anyone will ever go to. For it truly is just a relationship with you and the other person. Because we are one. We are one with God and with each other. Now, to know the truth of your being, it means that you've changed something within the very core of you. To know the truth at the level of experience means you've undergone a radical transformation in the ways in which you see yourself and the world. To be made free means something has changed within you. Something that is so deep inside you that you cannot deny it any longer. No matter what occurs to you, no matter what your life brings, you cannot deny that truth. Charles Fillmore said it this way about truth. He says, the basic principle of truth is that the mind of each individual may be consciously unified with divine mind through the indwelling Christ. By affirming at one-ment, I like that, at one-ment with God mind, we eventually realize that perfect mind which was in Christ Jesus. So it's wonderful. There's no more worshiping a guy out there. It's affirming that that is within me, and that's what I will become. So whatever your path seems to be on this road to self-realization, know that the true you is the Christ mind, the Holy One, the child of the eternal and loving Father. That's who we are at our very core. And of course, I'm a work in progress. We're all a work in progress. That perfection is being shown to us and is growing in us day by day. The more we affirm the truth and live the truth, not just affirm it intellectually, but live it. That's the key for me. And this is why affirming the truth has so much power, because you're cooperating with the inevitable. I can read about the truth of myself, my true nature, in Bibles and books. I can study it in classes and workshops and seminars, but I must begin to see the goal of Christ's realization as a real experience available to me. Or it will persistently seem like a fantasy, like something unattainable. Perhaps the lucky few will experience this, but I won't. No, it's not true. Through the power of your mind and affirming what is already true and inevitable, it becomes your reality. And to the extent to which you can receive it, it keeps perfect and gentle pace with you in your own transformation of mind. It's nothing we can force or we need to force, or, I relax, I let go. I imagined all you guys sleeping like the cats in that thing. I hope they don't fall asleep on me today. Because we tend to hear this so many times, we forget that it's a real experience. And I'm very grateful to be here with you guys at this point. After so many years of not only searching, but extending the truth in various ways, and being involved in healing ministries and in truth ministries around the world. It's really wonderful and comforting to know it's happening right here at home. And that this is now my spiritual family. Until I get offered a big job somewhere in a huge Unity church. You have to have a few shills in the audience too. Guys that really know you. So one of the things that you want to look at, that I want to look at, is what is standing in the way of my ultimate experience. And what I've come to know is that it's only my own thoughts. It's my own judgments. It's my own fears, my own grievances, my blame, shame, guilt, anger, hatred, bitterness. That's the only thing that's standing in the way of my Christ nature coming forth into this world, sharing the light, being the light of the world. It's the only thing, my own thoughts and ideas about myself. And sometimes we need a little healing from experiences we've had or are having to release us from those thoughts. So I found a really incredible and simple way to be free from all these things. It's called forgiveness. And one of my heroes, Nelson Mandela, he said this about forgiveness and freedom. He said, as I walked out the door toward the gate that would lead to my freedom, I knew that if I didn't leave my bitterness and hatred behind, I would still be in prison. 27 years, he could have been gathering hatred, bitterness. I probably would have. I don't know how many of us could forgive under those circumstances. But he knew he had to do it. There's two ways that they interpret the scripture. The truth will set you free, or the truth will make you free. And I like the truth will make you free. Because as Nelson Mandela knew, before he was set free from prison, he would have to be made free by the power of his own decision, by his own forgiveness. That's what made him free. And his decision was to know who he truly was as a child of God, and to claim it, even after 27 years in prison, that nothing had touched his character of spirit. By choosing to forgive, he set in motion the power of truth. And we can too. No matter what's going on in our life, we set in motion a power of forgiveness, a power of truth, and a power of healing through forgiving everything. Forgive it. What if what you thought was true just had no reality, just wasn't true? What if God had a much better idea about you and about this world? What if it were available right now? I would rush to perform the action of mind to bring that about. So through forgiveness, you set forth into motion the power of truth. And that manifested for him a destiny that included the Nobel Peace Prize, the end of apartheid, and becoming president of the country that once imprisoned him. Now, I don't think he saw all that coming in prison, but he knew in that moment that he had to perform that action anyway, to release the hatred and the bitterness and to step forward into a new life. And that's what I'm called upon to do today. That's what I invite you to do this day, this point in your life. No matter what it has looked like, forget it. Let it all go. Start with today by letting go of all of your judgments, all of the anger, bitterness, or any kind of slight irritation you might have. You know, Jesus asked me to love my enemies. You know, it's easy to love your friends most of the time. But he asked me to love your enemies. And I appreciate the fact that this is a universal truth, that this affirmation of love will release the power within me and within this world, so that it absolutely begins to show me, it reflects back to me the love that I am, the energy that I've taken on. There's one quote that says, everything is energy. If you want a certain reality, just match the frequency of that reality, and you cannot help but get that reality. And so that's what we're called to do. Not simply we need to entertain it intellectually at first, but we need to step forth into a lifestyle of loving one another to the point of demonstrating the oneness that we are. Whatever way that we perform the affirmation, whatever way I perform it, it has to be a deep affirmation of my soul in accordance with my experience of the absolute truth of my being. Then it will be released in faith and brought forth in the best way possible for the highest good of all. Not just for me, the highest good of all. And that's an important part of forgiveness, because sometimes you're like, wait a minute, the universe isn't giving me what I want. You know, no, it's for the highest good of all, not just what you think you want. So keep at it. You know, stay strong in your resolve to be the light of the world and to demonstrate forgiveness. You know, all the great things, this is a tried and true formula. All the great thinkers of the world have said this in one way or another. Each of us can and must use the power of our mind to demonstrate the truth and bring it into being in this world. We have the opportunity to express the highest truths known to man, known to humankind. And each of us has been given this power. All the power in heaven and earth has been given to us. Now there's one guy, I thought he was a pretty smart guy, Albert Einstein. And he said, there are only two ways to live your life. One is if nothing is a miracle. The other is if everything is a miracle. Everything. Albert Einstein, you thought he was so pragmatic, and A plus B equals C. Cause and effect. This is how it works. No, it's a miracle. It's a miracle. When he discovered the theory of relativity, I'm sure he said, wow, it's a miracle. Every discovery. You know, Thomas Edison said, well, I didn't fail 10,000 times. I never failed. I just found 10,000 possibilities that didn't work. It led me to the one that works. So don't give up. 10,000 ways have led me here in this moment. Everything that's occurred in your life, nothing went wrong. You never failed. Never, not once. And God has never failed you. The universe and the Spirit of God have never failed you. There's a constant loving Spirit that is always in operation. It's just up to me to have the courage to stay in the affirmation and the flow of the operation of that Spirit. And that's a wonderful idea, that I can actually do it. In John 8, you know, Jesus said, greater things than I have done will you do. And I always wondered, come on, I'm not going to do that. How can I do those things? raise people from the dead and walk on water and make the blind man see. But I've seen these things happen in my life now, and greater things. There are greater things happening. And even if it's not true for you in this moment, just the possibility of it is a wonderful idea. The possibility that I can do greater things, that each day can be a miracle. Wow, I'm just so amazed by that. The possibility of it. That's what makes it true for me. And the lovely thing about this whole process is it's all happening in you. It's all up to you. You go at whatever pace that you feel is right for you. And your truth in this moment is going to be in alignment with the absolute truth. It'll just be somewhere along the line of your greatest evolution of consciousness. Nothing is going wrong. Everything works together for good to those who love God and are called according to a higher purpose. Everything. And I know you know it and you believe it in your heart. It's just that your ideas about it seem to get in the way sometime. So, the only thing I want to say in closing today is I'm beginning to accept things beyond my present limitation. Before too long, there are not going to be any limitations, because that's absolute truth. There are no limitations in God. And before too long, that becomes true for me. The absolute truth remains. There are no limitations of any kind in this magnificent universe of ours. I am free. I am unlimited right now. And now's the time to stand up and recognize it. Now's the time. We're going to stand up and recognize the truth of who we really are. Oh, thank you. They're standing up. Right now. Oh, meditation. Okay. Yes. I don't need these now. I'm confused by those glasses.
And we can all keep standing up. Why not?
All right, we'll do a standing meditation. You may be seated. I remember that from church. That's the only thing you need to know in the ministerial training. Let us stand. You may be seated. Right, Lenny? Len's good at it. I am your platform leader today. Let us stand. Let us meditate. Let us go within. All right, let us go within. Let us go within and imagine a world of peace and power and prosperity for everyone. Let us go within and breathe life into this vision. Breathe life into the idea that God is love and His peace is manifesting here and now for each and every one. Let us go within and envision a world of peace, prosperity, and love for everyone. And that includes you. Imagine your best life, the most beautiful and most free, healthful, gorgeous life in communication with each and every person on a spiritual level. Realize that this is the truth right here and right now. When darkness comes upon you and it's hard to see the light, When illusion seems to bind you to a world you cannot fight, when your heart is hurt and frightened, and your soul is feeling lost, when your faith in love is shattered, and it seems at such great cost, remember I am the truth and the life, and the truth will set you free. So let your mind be quiet and turn your thoughts to me. I'll give you the keys to the kingdom, the secret to perfect peace. I am the God within you. I am the angel of your good. I am Spirit everlasting. I am the living Word. Remember, I am the truth and the life, and the truth will set you free. Just let your mind be quiet and turn your thoughts to me. I'll give you the keys to the kingdom, the secret to perfect peace. I am the God within you. I am the angel of your good. I am Spirit everlasting. Yes, I am the living Word. And you shall know the truth, and the truth will make you free. Yes, you shall know the truth, and the truth will make you free.
Thank you so much, Tony.
Thank you. I love you guys.
Love you.